Good afternoon. This is Brockton High Boxers football with Brian Madden and Peter Zimbor giving you the game here on Sunday, the 12th. Brockton High against the New Bedford Whalers. And what's your take on this game, Pete?
Well, I think that New Bedford really doesn't have much of a chance at the Super Bowl. Brockton, if the other teams contending for the Super Bowl lose and Brockton wins, Brockton may have a slim chance at making that Super Bowl. This could be a key game for Brockton.
Yes. I think Brockton's really counting on New Bedford to somehow pull a winning against Durfee next week. That's going to be their only chance, I believe, because I don't think New Bedford has much of a chance defeating Brockton today. But I think it'll be an entertaining game. It's a beautiful day for football. It's about 50 degrees. Skies are kind of cloudy, but the field's dry. We're dry. Works for me.
Yeah, except for the seat I'm sitting on.
Oh, yeah. It's a little damp. We're up top here today. But I think it'll be an entertaining game. This is boiling down to the end of the season for the seniors, and I know they want to go out with a bang as much as possible.
Another thing these seniors want, they don't want this to be their last game. They want a Super Bowl.
Yes. And the Whalers are getting ready to kick off. We have Robert Whitaker and Brandon Hill in the backfield, and it's received by Calvin Duncan, who picks up about 8 yards on the return. It was a short kick. Brockton will take over on the
about the
35-yard line.
Brockton takes over first and 10 from their own 35-yard line.
Kershaw just received a play from Mr. Colombo. Kershaw hands it off to James Jackson, who powers up the middle for about 6 yards, 5.5 yards. And I think this is a game where James would do well. I think they'll hand it off to him a lot.
As you said, the seniors want to go out with a bang.
Yes, and he's just gonna attack, and try and use their aggressive running to neutralize the Whalers. Kershaw under the ball. Hands off to James Jackson again, who runs around. And he's down at the...
They call a flag down. It could be holding on Patrick Emmanuel.
Oh, that's terrible. If that were neutralized, yeah, James is kind of pissed off. He knows he's coming back. Oh, face mask. Face mask on the Whalers.
You could see Patrick Emmanuel was scared. He was holding off like I didn't do anything. But you could see down there, right where Jackson ran.
That was a fantastic run by James Jackson. And it's the personal foul, so it's 15 yards, not the 5-yard penalty.
This is a big break for Brockton. They'll put them at the 21 yard line. Excellent possession.
And they're already starting off, assuming their dominance with the running game, James Jackson. Fake to Duncan. Hand to James Jackson.
He's still on his feet.
Who's still on his feet, yes. And it takes about 5 Whalers to bring him down. He only gained about 2 yards on the play. But nice aggressive run by James Jackson. Yeah, James is very hard to bring down. First couple of tacklers are not going to bring down Mr. Jackson. Always takes getting tackling. Kershaw into the center. Fakes to Duncan and hands to James Jackson again, who is just shy of the first down.
James Jackson already having a great game here in this first possession.
He gained 6 on the play. So 3rd down and 1. Kershaw hands it to Duncan, who
powers it right up the middle.
Powers up the middle, yes, and he's down at the 3-yard line. And that was a nice heads-up play by Mr. Colombo. Give it to the fullback, Cal Duncan. In short yard situations, he's definitely the man. But this has been James Jackson's drive, so I would think that they're going to give it to James and let him get the touchdown, because he's done all the work in this series so far. And they hand it off to James Jackson, touchdown.
He went up that hole untouched.
Yes. He ran uncontested into the end zone. Short 3-yard run. And the whole thing took less than 4 minutes.
Last week, James Jackson scored 4 touchdowns in the game.
And then Bouger for the extra point. And it's good. And Bouger's back on track. He had
an unusual week.
Yeah, he had a little trouble last week. A few rare misses. And there's James Jackson on the sidelines, exuberant, happy. He did well in that series. And he's getting a well-deserved drink. The Whalers have to definitely step up, and it's going to be a tough game for them today. Brockton is one of the elite teams in Division I, and the Whalers, with a 2-6 record, it's going to be a long day for the Whalers.
It's hard to believe, looking at the Whalers' record, that this was once a bitter rivalry between these teams. I remember a few years ago, New Bedford was #1 and Brockton was #2. Excellent game. The crowd was packed.
Yeah, unfortunately, players, graduate and move on, and skill level and tenacity goes with the changes in the roster.
Player I remember was Peter Harris, Brockton running back. He was an excellent football player.
Okay. And the kick. Archie Johnson. Who's Jackson? And 84 is running up the sideline.
That's John Burgos. He had room running up the sideline, but Eric Ampuja kind of tripped him out.
Yes, that was a fantastic run. Of about 35, 40 yards.
Bedford takes over, 1st and 10 from their own 49-yard line.
And Ryan Walsh, hands off. Oh, actually, option play.
Pitches it off to number
Pitches it off
28,
to Jeff Brito.
Jeff Brito.
That was a nice play. That was kind of a high pass there to Mr. Brito. Walsh is lucky that he was able to bring that in. Walsh hands it off to Mr. Brito again, who breaks one tackle.
About 5 yards on the play.
Gains 5 yards on the play. They have receiver in motion. And they hand it off to 27,
Oh,
who
Ariston Ora, I believe I'm pronouncing that name right.
yeah, Everston Arroyo. I think the Brockton defense was totally faked on that play. Walsh handed it off to Ariston, who ran through the middle, and the Brockton defense did not even attempt to tackle this guy until they realized he was into the backfield before they realized that he had the ball, and he was taken down by Mr. Whitaker. Good run by Mr. Arroyo. Timeout, Whalers. And the Whalers are trying to hold their own.
Both teams ended up with excellent field possession at the end. We know that Brockton turned that excellent field possession into a touchdown. Let's see what the Whalers can do.
Yes. This so far has been a good series. The first two series of the game. First series, James Jackson. They used James Jackson for every play except for one, and he trucked it on down the field and got a touchdown within 4 minutes. And the Whalers too are moving the ball. They were fortunate to get such a good return on the punt.
Speaking of players wanting to go out with a bang, I wonder how they're going to utilize Robert Whitaker in this game, have him throw some balls downfield.
Yes, Robert Whitaker is having a season kind of like Terry Glenn. Let's call this play. They hand it off to Brito, who is tackled by Sean Bello, who had a fantastic game last week. He had a number of sacks,
Sean
number
Bell
of hurries.
was a key defensive player last week.
He was definitely the defensive player of the game. Walsh goes up to the center. And they hit. Oh, it's an option play. The quarterback keeps it, and he gains about 1 yard on the play.
Ryan Walsh on the carry.
Yes, and he's gang tackled by Junior Mark, Kareem Nelson, and others. So it's third down and about 3. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown at the 5-yard line. They hand it off. Oh, and he's grabbed in the backfield by who else? Sean Bello. And he's held short of the first down. So Sean Bello's defensive tenacity continues. So the Whalers have a decision to make whether or not they're going to go for the field goal or whether they're going to go for it. And it appears they're going to...
Sean Bell is a player who will be missed next season.
Yes. They're going to go for it with 4th and 2. And they fake it. Option. And they have a first down at the 1-yard line.
Throws it to Mark Balistracci.
That was a nice play by Mr. Walsh, or should I say the head coach, Wayne Hamlet. They optioned it around and then passed it off to Mr. Balachi. He received the ball where right at the 1-yard line, just at the sideline where he was the only one that could catch the ball. And touchdown, New Bedford.
Ryan Walsh on the keeper.
So New Bedford's holding their own as of this point. Quarterback sneak by Ryan Walsh to put 6 on the board.
And the kick is blocked.
And there's a flag on the play. The ball is grabbed by
Lance
LaFontaine. And we'll see what the call is. Offsides on Brockton. So they're going to do it over. Maybe that's why it was blocked. Brockton was in there a little early. And Andrew Eldridge back to kick the extra point.
This time the kick is good.
And the kick is good. Sean Bello got in there again as well this time. I'm not sure if he was the one that got in there last time, but he definitely got in there this time. He almost got to the ball again. So, with 3 minutes and 28 seconds left in the first quarter, the score is tied, 7-7. So far, the game's been entertaining. Wouldn't you say so, Pete?
Yes, I'm surprised at how fast this game's been going by. When you said 3:28, I had to look at that.
Well, that's usually what happens when,
Both
teams use the running game to
both teams
to
scored
advance
the
the
first
ball.
possession.
Yes, both teams scored in the first possession, but when the running game is used, it eats up the clock because it never stops moving except when they don't even stop when the chains are moved, I believe. Mr. Eldridge set the punt. And the kick is away, little squib kick, and they kick it to Cal Duncan, or actually
James Jackson.
James Jackson. And as usual, it takes about 4 or 5 defenders to bring him down. Yeah, I think one thing I'll say about Armin Colombo, he's very cognizant of the plays of his opponent. Last series, on the punt, they kicked it short, kicked it to the up man, and Mr. Colombo will make adjustments, and he'll put his hands guys in the up positions to receive the ball.
That's what he's done in the past.
Okay, Mr. Kershaw into the center, and he drops back. He passed it off to Robert Whitaker, who has a blocker, and he's taken down.
Gets the first down.
By number 8, Tom Balistracci.
Tom Balistracci, possibly there is relation to Mark Balistracci.
You think? With a name like Balistracci, I'm telling you this. They have to be brothers. And evidently they're both pretty good at it. They're both starting. Okay, Kershaw. Hands off to James Jackson, who comes around, and he's got room. He runs through one of the Belistachi brothers, Tom, and he's finally taken down.
By Ryan Resendez.
Yes, at the 30, or actually the 27-yard line.
I was surprised they didn't call a face mask on number 52, Ryan Resendez, because he seemed to grab Jackson by the helmet, grab him in the face mask.
Okay. Kershaw drops back, pass it over to Robert Whitaker, who's wide open.
Seems like the last possession they had, they used the running game a lot. This possession, they've used the running game more. I mean, the passing game.
They've used it on 2 occasions. But Kershaw has to get that ball over there to Robert Whitaker a little faster. I mean, Charles is usually wide open over in the flat, and he has to wait until he gets the ball. So maybe Kershaw should do a 2-step drop back, fire it over there, and try and get it up a little higher so that Charles has a chance to get some yardage after the pass, after reception. Are they going to call offsides on the defense, or did Lance LaFontaine stand up prior to draw them offsides?
I saw Greg Leofer get up too, so they're going to call it on Brockton.
They're going to call it on Lance. But I don't know. I beg to differ on that one. I think that the defense stepped over the line and made contact with Lance, causing him to stand up. Unfortunately, we won't have instant replay on that. We're working with a skeleton crew today. We have Mike Mendelson on camera. This is Brian Madden and Peter Zimbor. Kershaw hands off to James Jackson, who has a whole lot of running room. 1 to beat, touchdown.
That was about a 20-yard run, I would say.
Yes, it was. Actually, it was probably a little bit more than that because they had that penalty play, which pushed them back.
Jackson's second touchdown of the day, with 29 seconds left in the first quarter.
James Jackson has had an awesome season.
That's something you can't deny.
Yes, improves your back to kick. And it's good.
Hopefully James Jackson has a bright future ahead of him in football.
Yes, I hope so. Actually, I don't know if the Boston Globe updated their records, but from the information I received off the internet today, James Jackson is 8th in Division I in scoring, with 10 touchdowns, 2 extra points, 62 total points, and 10.3 points per game. So, and he's 7th in rushing. Like I said, I don't know if they updated this because these are the same numbers I believe I had last week.
He had a great game last week. I think that would change a few things.
Yeah, so, James Jackson parade continues to move on. But back to what I was saying about Robert Charles Whitaker. His season has been kind of like Terry Glenn's, as he's been double covered, and he's been not used as much as I'm sure he would like.
But he's still been productive.
Oh, he's been very productive because he's still first in receiving with 212 yards, and let's go to the kick. Eric Ampuja. Actually, that's Archie Johnston, and 84.
Oh, what an excellent tackle made by Tyrone Pruitt.
Yeah, Tyrone Pruitt, he tried to go through that young man.
He took his head off.
Yeah, John Burgo, he was definitely, he's going to remember Mr. Pruitt for the rest of this day anyway. You know, a tackle like that will kind of disrupt you for the next series. Cause you get fumbleitis or whatever.
I don't think he's going to go near Tyrone Pruitt again.
Mr. Walsh drops back to pass.
And he sacked.
He breaks a couple tackles before he's taken down.
Sack made by Jamar Garrison.
Jamar Garrison brings him down. But Lance LaFontaine had him at first. And Mr. Walsh was able to twist his way out of the grasp of Lance.
The first quarter of play, Brockton 14, New Bedford 7.
That ends the first quarter. Brockton on top, 14-7.
So far, it's been a James Jackson day. Wonderful play by the Brockton Boxers, offense and defensively. The offense has, as they have all season, consistently been able to move the sticks, and gain yardage, and score touchdowns. And we'll see what the Whalers can do on this series, because the first series they had the ball, they were able to move the sticks as well and move on downfield and score a touchdown fairly quickly. So we'll see if New Bedford can answer. Score again on this series. And they're trying to place the sticks correctly before they start this play. Walsh drops back to pass.
Garrison chasing him out.
And he tried to pass it to
Tom
Balistracci.
Balistracci.
It was incomplete. And that's one that Tom has to catch. Now, the ball hit him right in the hands.
Well, Walsh was under a lot of pressure from Jamar Garrison.
But Balistracci might have been thinking about that tackle by Tyrone Pruitt, who was covering him, and said to himself, I don't want to catch this ball. Here we go. 3rd down and 12. Walsh drops back to pass. And he throws it over there to number 12, Mark Balistracci. Incomplete. And they'll turn it over on. They'll punt the ball. In the backfield, we'll have Robert Whitaker.
Along
as
with
well as
Brandon Hill.
Brandon Hill.
Brandon Hill's a player who still has a few years left in him. He's got 2 more years of playing for Brockton High.
Brandon Hill is definitely a competitor. Okay, and the kick is away. And, they almost fought for the ball. Brandon Hill is going to be blocking for Charles, who goes around to the side. Nice, beautiful block
Whitaker's got room.
He's got one player to beat.
And touchdown.
Touchdown.
Now the coaches for New Bedford must be pulling their hairs out right now. There was 2 players on the sideline who could have at least knocked Robert Whitaker out of bounds.
Because he was definitely tiptoeing up the sideline. And that was about a 67-yard return. Unfortunately, you know, with one camera, we won't be able to give you a replay on that. But hey, if you got a VCR, you're taping the game, you can always rewind. That was a beautiful run back by Robert Whitaker, and he had some beautiful blocking.
Now, if you missed this game once, you can always tape it again.
And the extra point is good. But
Ariston Aurora was down on the sideline, and Whitaker just ran right by him into the end zone.
Yes, he had a couple of, the Whalers had a couple of opportunities, but Charles used his blockers, and his teammates stepped up and gave him a picket fence, actually, and he was able to get around to the sideline. Brandon Hill gave a nice block. I can't really recall who it was that freed him up, but there was a hellacious block at about the between the 30 and the 35-yard line that freed Mr. Whitaker up down the sideline. He had one player to beat at about the 10 or 12-yard line.
Yeah, Ariston Aurora.
Ariston Aurora, who Charles just blew by. But his speed is unmatched. Once he gets around, if he has an inkling of space, he'll get through.
The cheerleaders bring back an old tradition of throwing Brockton High footballs out every time the team scores a touchdown.
It's the Brockton High. The Brockton Boxers have a commanding lead, 21-7, with 10 minutes and 20 seconds in the second quarter. Eric Impuzia kicks it away, and it's received by number 1,
Brandon Gagney.
And he's tackled at the 25-yard line. By Kareem Nelson, Junior Mark, as well as Brandon Hill. Walsh under the center. He hands up. Oh, fumble. Oh, man. And Mr. Walsh is able to get it back.
Now, Brockton had
Lance
recovered.
LaFontaine had a chance to grab the ball, and it was like a greased pig. It slipped out of his hands. Walsh was able to fall on it, losing 2 yards on the play, or 1 yard on the play. So 2nd down, 11. Walsh drops back to pass. And he tries a little screen pass.
Tries to get it to Jeff Brito.
To Jeff Brito. But he was being troubled.
Walsh has been put under pressure plenty of times in the course of this game, and when he attempts to throw it to players, his receivers just aren't working with him.
Yes. So it's showing 2nd down, but it should be 3rd down and 11. Drops back to pass. He's attacked by Tyrone Pruitt. Screen pass.
And Calvin Duncan almost had him.
Calvin Duncan missed the tackle. And Robert Whitaker tackles him at the 37-yard line.
No, if Duncan would have made that tackle, imagine the impact that would have made.
Yes. But Ariston Aurora was able to break that tackle of Calvin Duncan and move the sticks. That was a nice tackle by Charles Whitaker.
Sean Bellow.
Bellows, they're chasing Mr. Walsh down, and he's got to get rid of the ball. And he just throws it away. Smart play by Ryan Walsh to get rid of the ball.
The New Bedford offensive line is not doing a very good job. Brockton has been in the backfield for each of the last few plays.
Yes, Brockton has definitely been attacking. And they've been in the backfield, like you said, each of the last few plays. And Ryan Walsh has been running for his life. He was fortunate to be able to get that ball away, get out of bounds, and avoid getting a 20-something yard sack. All right, hands it off.
Jamar Garrison almost made a tackle there.
And he's running up the sideline. And a nice run. Jeff Brittle finally taken down by Robert Whitaker, as well as Carlos Cataquet.
Yeah, I think they blew the whistle before he was hit. I think he might have stepped out of bounds.
Okay. Yes, he stepped out of bounds at the 44-yard line of Brockton. But anyway you look at it, that was a nice run by Mr. Brittle. And Walsh drops back to pass. Nice tackle, block. Oh, and
Calvin Duncan doesn't let him go this time.
Calvin Duncan tackles Tom Bellistracci. Nice reception. Gain of about 30 yards on the play.
And once again, Brockton in the backfield. Tyrone Pruitt chasing around Ryan Walsh.
Walsh moves up under the center. And he hands it off to Mr. Brittle, who's able to break one tackle.
Gets up to about the 11-yard line.
Yes, and he gains about 4 yards on the play.
7 minutes, 35 seconds left in the second half. Brockton on top, 21-7.
And the Whalers are moving the sticks. They're definitely trying to stay competitive in this game. Walsh fakes it, drops back to pass.
It's intercepted.
No.
Oh, no.
Hit the ground. Almost was intercepted by Junior Mark. He was back defensively in the end zone. And this is a key play on both sides, because it's third down and about 6 yards on the 11-yard line. Hands off to Mr. Brittle, who's gang tackled.
No gain on the play.
He's gang tackled by Brian Cleary, as well as Cal Duncan. So, looks like they may go for it, which they are. They need to get to the just inside the 4-yard line, or get to the 4-yard line to get a first down. He drops back to pass, and he's sacked by Tyrone Pruitt. Tyrone Pruitt's been playing very well today. He made that outstanding special team tackle. And
this will bring in the kicking team for New Bedford.
yes. No, this won't bring, no. Brockton turnover on downs, first down, Brockton High, no kick. But as I was saying about Tyrone Pruitt, he's definitely stepped up today and made a number of plays. He's hurried the quarterback, Mr. Walsh, a number of times in the backfield. As I said, back to that special teams tackle and that sack on fourth down. Okay, Kershaw drops back, hands it off to James Jackson, who comes around, spins off, breaks 2 tackles, 3 tackles.
Still on his feet after all those tackles. Just didn't have enough room to break free.
But he broke 3 tackles prior to being gang tackled at the 22-yard line. Gain of 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 5. Kershaw hands it off to James Jackson, who has a hole.
A lot of room.
Oh, man. Ariston Aurora. James just kind of smushed him aside and was able to pick up an additional 7, 8 yards after he dismissed Mr. Arroyo. He gained about 12 yards on the play. And handoff, fake, end around to Robert Whitaker.
That's my favorite play, bud.
Your favorite, yep. Definitely your favorite play. But unfortunately, it didn't work this time. He's tackled by Jonathan Costa. I think the reason that play didn't work was kind of slow in development today. Usually, snap, snap, snap. It's very, very quick, very fast.
New Bedford had a lot of time to read the fake.
Yeah, loss of 3 yards on the play. Kershaw drops back to pass. And he hits Robert Whitaker for a gain of
about 7 yards.
7 yards on the play. And that was much better by Mr. Kershaw to drop back 2, 3 steps, fire it over there. I know Robert Charles Whitaker is glad to get some plays going today, get more involved in the game. Kershaw hands off to James Jackson, who has some blockers. Gains a first down on the play. Gained about 13 yards. 1st and 10 at the 47-yard line. Actually about the 47.5-yard line. Three minutes and 40 seconds left in the half. Plenty of time.
Clock ticking as we say that.
And again off to James Jackson, who was caught in the backfield by number 53, Ryan McCann. And he was caught in the backfield, but he was still able to get about a half a yard on that play. Dragged Mr. McCann for about 2 yards. before being brought down at the 47-yard line. Fake. Kershaw was sacked by number 46, Andrew Sousa.
Brought down on the play by Andrew Sousa.
And loss of about 5 yards on the play. Actually about 6. So 3rd and 17 at Brockton's just over the 45-yard line. Robert Whitaker out to the left. Emmanuel up to the right. He drops back, looks to Emmanuel, passes it up to Robert Whitaker, and a play broken up by number 12,
Mark Balistracci.
Mark Balistracci.
2 Balistracci brothers making some key plays today.
Yes.
Well, we're assuming they're brothers.
Yes, Mark is a junior and Tom is a sophomore actually. So you know, they've got at least 1 more year to play together next year, provided they both stay healthy. Archie Johnston back to kick. And it's away. Good kick.
Fair catch waved by number 8, Tom Balistracci.
Bedford takes over 1st and 10 from their own
1st and 10
yard line.
at the 23-yard line. And that was a good kick by Archie Johnston.
He dumped it over to number 86, Stephen Yates.
Yes. Stephen Yates gained about 6 on the play, 5 on the play. Actually, 7 on the play. No huddle. And timeout Brockton.
No huddle offense makes Brockton have to hurry and get some players off the field, and Brockton's gonna have to use a timeout.
Timeout on the field, Brockton.
Which is fine. Brockton's not really being troubled. And,
They're up by 14 points.
They're up by 14 points with 1 minute 21 seconds left in the half. The Whales would really have to air it out and, you know, get some good breaks to be able to move the sticks that much and get upfield in 1 minute and 21 seconds.
The Brockton High School class of 1990 will be having their 10-year reunion on Friday, November 24th at the Ritter Country Club in Whitman. For further information or to obtain a flyer or brochure, they will be available at all refreshment stands. That's the Brockton High School class of 1990 observing their 10th reunion on Friday, November 24th at the Ritter Country Club.
And the class of 1990 is observing their 10th reunion at the Riddick Country Club on Friday. Okay. Walsh drops back to pass. Throws it out to the left to Balistracci. Tom.
You can't just say their last name. You gotta. These 2 guys.
And they get a first down. It gets out of bounds and stops the clock. So if they're able to do that a few more times, they have a chance to score before the half. If they play smart, hit the guys out and the wide receivers out on the sidelines, and they're able to stop the clock. Walsh drops back to pass again. And throws it out of reach of Mark Balistracci.
Now, if New Bedford does not score on this possession, it could be bad for them because Brockton, I believe, gets the ball back in the second half, and we all know they're capable of scoring at any given time.
Yes, because Robert Whitaker already ran one back. 67-yard return for a touchdown. Second down and 10. He drops back to pass. Pass it out to number 86.
Brandon Hill pushes him out of bounds.
Stephen Yates.
Number 86, Stephen Yates.
And it'll be third down and 2. The Whalers are playing smart football. Getting it out there. Brockton is giving them the short passes. Not wanting to let them get one downfield. And Walsh rolls around to the right.
He's under pressure.
And he runs for the first down.
He had Calvin Duncan as well as Robert Bell chasing after him.
He had no one to throw it to, so he opted to tuck the ball away and run for the first down. Heads up play by Mr. Walsh, running out of bounds, avoiding the use of a timeout.
.51 seconds left in the half. Brockton on top, 21-7.
He may be checking off on the play.
Stephen Yates was in motion.
And he drops back to pass.
And Robert Bell almost had a sack there.
And he's running it again
And Calvin
for
Duncan.
about 7 yards.
Calvin Duncan and Junior Mark run him right out of bounds.
Heads up play by Mr. Walsh. He had no receivers open that time, so he tucked it away. And again,
Brockton's defense has done an excellent job at getting in the backfield,
yes, they have.
as well as covering the receivers, because Walsh, once he's got Brockton plays in the backfield chasing after him, he's got no one to throw to. He's either got to run out of bounds or throw it away.
Yes, because he doesn't have a whole lot of time. And he hands off.
And he's no gain. Gives it to
Hands it off
Harrison
to
Aurora.
Cal Duncan takes him down for a loss of about a yard.
Timeout on the field for Bedford.
Bedford calls timeout. And Brockton is doing what they need to do. They're giving them the short passes, you know, the underneath stuff, allowing them to pick up 5, 6, 8 yards on a play. They're not leaving anything open downfield, and they're using up the clock, even though the Whalers have been able to make their receptions and get out of bounds. They have 37 seconds left. They're on the 40-yard line, just inside the 40-yard line, and they still got their work cut out for them if they want to score. I don't know how their field goal kicker is, but we'll have to see what happens. See if they can get close enough to get into field goal range. Walsh is looking out to his receivers on the left. He drops back to pass.